Welcome back, you whiskey loving legends, to another episode of Was It Worth It Whiskey. And today we have the Benromach 10-year-old, 43 ABV. So it's just enough to give it a little bit more kick than the usual 40%. And if you don't recognise this particular brand or bottle, or haven't heard much about it, it's probably because it's recently gone through a rebranding. It used to look like this, but as you can see, that bottle, it's not very eye-catching, so it's pretty obvious why they went through a rebranding. The brand itself didn't catch the eye for anyone to see, so now they've moved on to this, which I think is more eye-catching and more usable. I mean, this one over here, you can't even read the name. You wouldn't even recognise the name as you read it. But anyway, they went the rebranding. I think it's good for it. The bottle itself, it's very basic but very nice. I really quite like this red cork it's got. It's quite sexy. But that doesn't really matter, because what matters is how it tastes. So on that, let's pour us a glass. So it's quite a small distillery. It was actually made, first started in 1889. And they say they like to promote their very hands-on, handmade whiskey. They store it in their own Dunwich warehouse. Very, very old style making of whiskey, they claim. On the nose, you get this initial smoke hit of wood smoke or bushfire smoke, but then it quickly disappears quite quickly, and turns into more of a light smoke, gentle smokiness, and gentle smoky and sweet smokiness as well. I get an orange flavour in it. And there's a slight meatiness or malt meatiness, bit of ginger, and then toffee. The nose is quite nice. It reminds me a lot of Springbank 10-year-old, the nose. Especially that malty meatiness and the complexity of the Springbank 10. Anyway. In the mouth, it's also got that really lovely mouth coating, with this gentle nuttiness, spice, some distant malt flavours, and then citrus notes, and even a bit of peach, I find. Once again, very bloody similar to the Springbank 10. So much so, I think I've got a bottle. I might just do a bit of a comparison, because it's very, very similar. So here we have the Springbank 10. I'm just going to pour a little bit in, just for a nose and a taste, to do a bit of a comparison, because it has some, it's not the same, but it's definitely got some similarities about it. Just get some water. It's on the nose. So the Springbank 10, it's not as, definitely hasn't got that smoky hit on the nose, but it has got that malty meatiness. Probably more distinct orange. Yeah. If you added a little bit more smokiness into the Springbank 10, very similar. Just a little. So the Benromach, just a little bit more smoky. And I think a lot of people would like that. Just on the palate. Same oily coating. A bit more fruitiness, a bit more tropical fruitiness in the in the Springbank 10. And a slightly better mouth coating, but not much. But it is, the Springbank 10 is a higher percentage as well. But yeah, bloody similar. I think I definitely think if you're into the Springbank 10, you're gonna like this stuff. And the Benromach is a fraction of the price, or 10 quid cheaper, at least 10 quid cheaper anyway. Anyway, let's move on back onto the whiskey we're reviewing. I'll just have another sip to get the finish in. Shame. Much of that nice coating is lovely. On the finish, I get this spicy oakiness, and then I usually don't like bitterness, but this is what I'm going to call a beautiful bitterness that kind of lingers with these light barbecue notes, and it goes on for a long time. I guess you get a bit of that orange and ginger notes as well, but it's just this really barbecue, spicy bitterness that just, but all light, not like nothing. It's delicious. It's bloody delicious on the finish, and it's a medium to long finish. So what a cracker of a little whiskey. And I'm so glad they rebranded, because I tell you what, that bottle, I would have never picked it up over the shelf. But this one I can see, I can remember, and I'll definitely be picking it up again. On a score, I'm going to give it a 90 points for the nose. I'm going to give it a 91 points for the palate, and I'm going to give it a 90 points for the finish, giving roughly 90 something points out of 100. On the was it worth it? So this bottle, the price for it is pretty amazing. So we got 33 quid or 80 Australian dollars or 55 USD. And ship me on those prices, that's a thumbs up 9 out of 10. So good on you on your rebranding. I'm going to definitely be trying some of their other whiskies shortly, that's for sure, because this is amazing. And what a whiskey for Was It Worth the Whiskies. Till next time, cheers.